Now, you're lucky to be watching Formula 1 in the Max Verstappen era. This guy defies expectations every weekend, making other world-class drivers look like they've forgotten how to race. Sure, Formula 1 has had its legends, Schumacher, Hamilton, Senna, but there's something different, almost otherworldly about Max Verstappen. Verstappen is unique in every way, and it's hard to imagine another star of his caliber emerging anytime soon. But what is so special about Max? Well, let's dive into the details. At just 17 years and 166 days old, Verstappen stepped into the cockpit of his Toro Rosso at the 2015 Australian Grand Prix, becoming the youngest driver ever to compete in Formula 1. He was a teenager, barely old enough to drive on public roads in many countries, lining up on the grid alongside seasoned veterans and world champions. Many didn't know it at the time, but what we witnessed that day was the debut of a once-in-a-generation talent. Verstappen's rookie season was nothing short of extraordinary. At the 2015 Malaysian Grand Prix, only his second F1 race, he finished 7th, becoming the youngest driver to score World Championship points. His fearless overtaking and mature racecraft belied his tender years, turning heads throughout the paddock. The racing world held its breath, wondering if this wunderkind could maintain his trajectory. They didn't have to wait long for an answer. In a move that sent shockwaves through the paddock, Verstappen was promoted to Red Bull Racing just 23 races into his F1 career. This wasn't just a step up, it was a giant leap into the big leagues, a vote of confidence rarely seen in the cutthroat world of Formula 1. And then the unthinkable happened. In his very first race for Red Bull at the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix, Verstappen didn't just compete, he won. At 18 years and 228 days old,
Max Verstappen wins a Formula 1 Grand Prix, wins the Spanish Grand Prix, and is the youngest driver ever to win a Formula 1 World Championship Grand Prix. And at the tender age of 18, he can go out and party like he's never partied before.
He became the youngest Grand Prix winner in F1 history, a record that still stands today. It was a victory that announced his arrival on the world stage in the most emphatic way possible. This meteoric rise was just the beginning. Verstappen's natural talent became increasingly evident with each passing race. What started as flashes of brilliance in his early career soon solidified into a consistent display of extraordinary skill that left both fans and fellow drivers in awe. Perhaps most impressively, Verstappen possesses an almost chameleon-like ability to adapt to changing conditions. He easily adjusts his driving style from track to track, lap to lap, and even corner to corner. A sudden rain shower that sends others scrambling for the pits is just another challenge for Verstappen to overcome. He doesn't just survive in adverse conditions, he thrives, often turning potential setbacks into opportunities for glory. Take for instance the 2016 Brazilian Grand Prix. In treacherous rain-soaked conditions that had seasoned veterans struggling to keep their cars on track, Verstappen delivered a masterclass in wet weather driving. Starting from 4th on the grid, he fell to 16th place after a pit stop mishap. What followed was a display of skill and bravery that had commentators and fans struggling to believe their eyes. Verstappen sliced through the field, making up 11 places in just 16 laps, executing audacious overtakes that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Max Verstappen finished the race in 3rd place, and his performance in that race was hailed as one of the greatest wet weather drives in F1 history. These early career highlights weren't just impressive performances, they were glimpses of a talent that would go on to reshape Formula 1. Verstappen's combination of skill and adaptability set the stage for a career that would challenge the very limits of what was thought possible in motorsport. While Verstappen's natural talent forms the bedrock of his success, it's his racing intelligence that truly elevates him to legendary status, one that the sport might never see again. This quality, honed through experience and an innate understanding of the sport, transforms his raw ability into consistent championship-winning performances. One area where Max's racing intelligence shines is his tyre management. His skill in this crucial aspect of racing was particularly evident in the 2022 Italian Grand Prix. Starting from 7th due to a grid penalty, Verstappen worked his way through the field methodically. Rather than making risky moves early on, he patiently bided his time, preserving both his tyres and fuel. As the race progressed, he unleashed his true pace, overtaking Charles Leclerc and managing the lead to secure victory. Complementing Max Verstappen's racing intelligence is his unique driving style. Verstappen's approach is a mesmerizing blend of aggression and precision, and at the heart of this style is his fearless approach to overtaking. His move on Charles Leclerc at the 2019 Austrian Grand Prix exemplifies this approach. In the closing laps, Verstappen dived down the inside at turn 3, a move that seemed impossible until the moment it happened. It was aggressive, yes, but also perfectly judged, showcasing his ability to push to the very limits of what's possible in wheel-to-wheel racing. Statistics back up the effectiveness of Verstappen's overtaking prowess. In the 2021 season alone, he completed 60 overtakes, more than any other driver in the top 6 of the championship standings. What's more impressive is that many of these moves come against equally fast machinery. Verstappen is not just racing, he's rewriting the record books consistently. The 2023 season stands as a monument to his unparalleled excellence. Verstappen didn't just break records, he shattered them, securing an astonishing 19 victories out of 22 races. This feat didn't just surpass others, it eclipsed his own record of 15 wins set just the previous year. Yet, it's not merely about the sheer number of victories. In 2023, Verstappen achieved what many thought impossible: 10 consecutive race wins, toppling Sebastian Vettel's previous record of 9. This wasn't just a streak, it was a masterclass in adaptability, with Verstappen dominating across a diverse array of circuits. From threading the needle through Monza's high-speed Temple of Speed to mastering the twisting, unforgiving streets of Singapore, Verstappen's supremacy knew no bounds. Perhaps the most staggering statistic of all, throughout the entire 2023 season, Verstappen stood on the podium in every single race he completed. This level of consistency is nothing short of extraordinary. It's not just success, it's a once-in-a-generation performance. What else makes Max Verstappen a generational talent? His adaptability across eras. One of the most challenging aspects of Formula One is adapting to changing regulations. Many great drivers have struggled when faced with significant rule changes. Verstappen, however, has shown an uncanny ability to excel across different regulatory eras. He first made his mark in the high downforce era of 2017 to 2021, where his aggressive style and precise car control allowed him to push these high grip cars to their limits. When F1 introduced an entirely new set of regulations in 2022, focusing on ground effect aerodynamics and larger wheels, many expected a period of adjustment. Instead, Verstappen seemed to adapt almost instantly, winning 15 out of 22 races in 2022 and following up with an even more dominant 2023 season. This adaptability across different car concepts demonstrates a depth of talent and understanding of vehicle dynamics that sets Verstappen apart from his peers and even many legendary drivers of the past. Verstappen's dominance has had a profound effect on the entire F1 grid, forcing other drivers and teams to raise their game. We've seen this before in F1 history, with the likes of Schumacher and Hamilton pushing their rivals to new heights. However, the Verstappen effect seems to be on another level. Teams are now actively seeking drivers who can replicate Verstappen's aggressive yet controlled style. We've seen this in Red Bull's sister team, formerly AlphaTauri, where they've cycled through several drivers looking for the next Verstappen. Other teams too are adjusting their driver selection criteria, placing a premium on raw speed and racecraft over experience. Moreover, Verstappen's ability to extract performance from a less than perfect car has forced engineers across the grid to rethink their approach to car design. Teams are now focusing more on creating cars that can be driven on the limit rather than those that are theoretically fast but difficult to master. Verstappen's influence extends far beyond the confines of the racetrack, sparking a cultural shift in the world of Formula One and igniting a passionate global fan base. Nowhere is this impact more evident than in his home country of the Netherlands. The Orange Army, as Verstappen's devoted fans are known, has become a fixture at Grand Prix events across the globe. The return of the Dutch Grand Prix to Zandvoort in 2021 was a testament to this fervour. The event felt more like a national celebration than a mere sporting contest, with a sea of orange-clad fans creating an atmosphere unlike any other on the F1 calendar. Verstappen's appeal isn't confined to his homeland. His global fan base has had a tangible impact on Formula One's business model. TV viewership numbers have soared, while race promoters clamour to secure spots on the calendar that align with favourable time zone for Verstappen's fan base. For instance, the inaugural Miami Grand Prix in 2022 saw a significant number of Dutch fans make the trip across the Atlantic, their orange attire a stark contrast to the pastel hues of South Beach. Moreover, Verstappen's success has inspired a new wave of young drivers. Karting tracks and junior Formulae are seeing increased participation, with many young racers citing Verstappen as their role model. This influx of talent could reshape the motorsport landscape for years to come. For example, the FIA Formula 3 Championship has seen a notable increase in Dutch drivers since Verstappen's rise to prominence, with talents like Richard Verschoor and Bent Viscaal making their mark. Verstappen isn't just a great driver of his era, he's redefining what we thought was possible in Formula One. His combination of raw speed, racecraft and adaptability is unprecedented. These factors coming together in a perfect storm support the assertion there will never be another Max Verstappen. Now, another mind-blowing thing is how Max Verstappen wins races. He wins with astonishingly wide margins. Here are times when Max Verstappen won races with wide margins.